Hi, this is Shamanweaver Shiela Baker. So I'm just going to drum a bit and call in the directions before we talk about soul retrieval and aftercare. Guides and allies of all the directions, from the east, the winged ones, from the south, coyote, snake, and spider, from the west, the bear, from the north, the four-leggeds who know when to travel to the sweet water and when to come home again. Illumination from above and sustenance from below, and the great tube of life that binds us all. I ask for wisdom, guidance, patience, perseverance, and tenacity. Aho. In our lives, no matter who we are, we have had incidents of soul loss. And you might have even noticed, if you've ever been in an auto accident, that those few days afterwards, you're a little hypervigilant, you're tense, you're nervous, you're looking around. Maybe you're not sleeping as well as you were before. When you're a passenger in the car, you might be feeling some anxiety. Those symptoms are the same symptoms as post-traumatic stress, and they're the same symptoms as soul loss. Throughout our lives, there are a number of things that happen that cause soul loss. I just talked about auto accidents, divorces, breakups, something as seemingly insignificant as a child not being invited to a birthday party, especially if this is a long-standing thing. Even when you're 5, if you haven't been included in things, and being not invited to a birthday party can cause soul loss. So just imagine looking back on your life and see all of these incidences that have happened. Now, most often, the soul parts will spontaneously come home again. You know, if your car accident happened a number of years ago, or if there was an incident of a breakup, a divorce, a trauma, sexual, physical, emotional abuse, over time, those soul parts will come back again. However, when you've had long-standing depression and you've done all of the things that are supposed to make it be better, and you're still noticing that you're having that, or if you're having the other symptoms of post-traumatic stress, such as anxiety, insomnia, and the inability to stay asleep, agoraphobia, not wanting to go out in public, being fearful, those are all good indicators of soul loss. And the way that I look at the soul is more like an orange than an India rubber ball that's hard. So the orange has segments that can fragment off. In the psychological world, they call this disassociation. In shamanic realms, we call this soul loss. And those parts that fragment off go into the other world, and they have their, what I call soul guardians. They're with some beings in the other world, and they're waiting for you to come to the time when you feel ready for them to come back home. Oftentimes, they spontaneously come back, and you'll notice that all of a sudden you feel better, you have more energy. When you see a shaman for something like that, it is a time when they haven't come back, when you're feeling maybe lost, where you feel like you've dealt with depression for an extended period of time, and there's nothing more you can do about it. You may even see a shaman when you are physically unwell. And this is also an indicator of soul loss. So the shaman, people like me and other shaman, have the ability to go into a shamanic journey and invite the soul parts that are ready to come back into your life at this moment in time. You might think that if you come for a soul retrieval, that there are certain parts that are going to come home. And you might notice that those are not necessarily the parts that do come home. The parts that come home are the ones that are ready, willing, available, and provide the healing that you need right now. So they're the ones who are like, oh yeah, pick me, take me home, because I can help. And so when they come back, it's a really lovely process because you get to connect with them and let them know that whatever it was that was happening in the past that caused the soul loss, that you're not going to allow that to happen again. So soul loss happens to everyone. There's no one, even the Dalai Lama has soul loss. So you're not unique to this, but it is something that is unique in the way of the healing of the symptoms. You might go to see a therapist. You might go to see a psychiatrist. They will treat this in a different way than when you come to see a shaman. So I will journey on your behalf. I will ask my guides to help me with this. We will journey to the places that the soul parts left, and then we will invite them to come back. And when I come back, I will tell you about that experience. So when the soul parts are ready, I catch them in what I call a soul catcher. And then once I've journeyed, caught your soul parts in a soul catcher, then I blow them into your heart chakra and also into your crown chakra. And then I rattle all around you to seal them in. So that's the process. So I journey, I invite soul parts back, I blow them into your body, and I rattle so that they stay in your body. Then I spend some time telling you what I saw, what I experienced, and who it is that it has come back. It's always extraordinary to me how fitting this is and how people say, oh yes, at that period of time, such and such was going on. Or sometimes it's having memories, so they'll talk to someone in their family about what was going on at that period in time. And integrating, so that's the soul retrieval part, that's the soul loss. How does it happen? It happens through trauma, and oftentimes repeated trauma, multiple car accidents, for instance. And then the soul retrieval happens when you understand that this is going to be the next step towards you getting whole and healthy. Then once that happens, once the retrieval has happened, then it's the aftercare that's important. And as I mentioned just a few moments ago, the soul parts look to you to keep them safe. And sometimes they will want you to do things that you're no longer doing. For example, if you have decided that alcohol is not part of your lifestyle anymore, but they were in a time of your life that you were still indulging in alcohol, they might ask you to do that. So you get to say, that's not part of what I do anymore, but here's what we can do. We can have a root beer, or we can have a club soda, or we can have something else. The soul parts are looking to you for guidance. What they bring you is they bring you energy and vitality and a peacefulness. I've actually had people just change their physical appearance just through a soul retrieval. And one of the beautiful things is that you get to go out into the world, home, and be with your friends and family who go, did you lose weight? Did you cut your hair? Because they'll notice that energetically something is different. These soul parts that come home and that you begin to talk to on a regular basis, it's very much like thinking about having a 3-year-old child that you talk to regularly. You ask them, what do you need? And if young soul parts come back, part of the aftercare may be having a nap in the middle of the afternoon, having a bubble bath, getting some toys that you maybe didn't have as a child, doing a bedtime ritual of a bubble bath, and regardless of your gender, it doesn't matter whether you're a guy or a girl, children love bubble baths, they love splashing around in the tub. And that might not be part of your routine, but as you're integrating these soul parts, doing those kinds of things is a really vital to them integrating, to you having more vitality, more energy, more ability to sleep through the night, more the ability to not feel restless and anxious. So it's a dialogue, and it's also, if they say to you, I need a purple shirt with yellow flowers on it, you do your best to find the purple shirt with the yellow flowers. And then you do your best to wear the purple shirt with the yellow flowers, because they are playful, they're light, they bring you vitality and energy. They do not need to re-experience whatever trauma it was that happened, which is something that's very different than regular psychotherapy. In traditional psychotherapy, we talk about the memories, we talk about that, and we bring the emotion back up. In soul retrieval, the beautiful part is that the shaman does the work for you. The shaman finds the soul parts, brings them back, blows them into your body, seals them in, and then helps you understand the next few weeks and months of integration. So as part of the integration work myself, I see the person for the first soul retrieval, which is a couple of hours. We do the blowing them into the body, the rattling around to settle them in, the talking about it. And then you get to go and be in the playing field. You get to go and get on swings. You get to go to the playground maybe. Maybe you go out for ice cream. You do the things that the integrating parts need. I check in with people after a couple of weeks because in our life, we sometimes forget that we've had this experience and that it requires some tending. And so we go about our life, we sometimes forget. So checking back in is, I think, a beautiful process. There's a reminder, what's been going on? Have you been talking to them? Have you actually had the opportunity to have a nap? Have you gone out and gotten some toys? Have you experienced playing with that part that's integrating? And then after the first time, a couple of weeks after your initial soul retrieval, I see you at 2.5 weeks, and then again about 3.5 weeks after that. And once again, this is part of the process of the settling in, the healing that you're going through, the making sure that we're taking care of any other symptomology that you might have. Maybe you had a period of time where you were still feeling restless, still feeling anxious. Well, we talk about that and we figure out how it is that we can assuage that, how we can make you more comfortable, more whole, more healthy. And then after that, about a month later, I see you for a final time for this program of soul retrieval. So it happens over a period of 10, 11, 12 weeks, depending on how our flow is. And so you're fully supported for 3 months to have the soul retrieval, the integration, and to be feeling whole and healthy, having the symptoms that you were experiencing before be gone, not feeling lost, not feeling like you don't know where to turn, not feeling empty, but feeling whole, happy, and healthy. And that's the goal of soul retrieval, is to return the soul parts. I don't know anyone who only requires one soul retrieval. We have had, we live in a hectic sometimes chaotic world, and soul parts fragment off. And like I said, some of them come spontaneously back. But once this first level of soul retrieval is settled into the body, and that you're more healthy, more whole, more happy, you might notice in a period of time, sometimes it's a few months, sometimes it's a year or more, that you're ready for more. And so you might return for another soul retrieval. I think one of the things that we do is we think that we had a healing and it all should be healed. And what we don't understand, and sometimes don't want to understand, is that healing's a process. So the soul parts come back, you get more whole, more healthy, more happy, and then you're ready for the next bit. You may never have another soul retrieval. You may be just absolutely complete and happy with just one. But I just want you to be aware that it might be possible that you will want more than one. So I hope this helps you understand soul loss and how it happens, and then soul retrieval and the process, and then the aftercare, which is the integration, which is the most important part, because that's you and your soul parts. I am a facilitator for you in your growth and your well-being here on planet Earth. And so I want to just thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I hope it helped you understand a little more about shamanism and about one of the most important things that the shaman is capable of doing. If there is anything that I might help you with, such as a soul retrieval or opening the Akashic records, perhaps a shamanic tarot reading or shamanic counseling, and even if you want to look into your upcoming year and a visioning session that's complimentary, please contact me at Shiela, Shiela, at shamanweaver.com, or go to my website and send something from there. Blessings! Aho!